Ripple XRP, so we have Germany's second largest bank that will be using Ripple's technology, and they have also announced something that they will be doing this year as well in terms of their pilot program. In addition to this, we do have a big announcement from Ripple, I believe from the head of product marketing. So we're going to check that out, and of course the price action for XRP coin. So all I ask from you are two things, which is to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel today. As you can see, the market is looking at nice and green today as we end the week on a Friday. I mean, XRP coin is only up by 1.1%, but we are seeing some nice swings for other coins such as Pendle up by 13.9%. So this bank is called DZ Bank, and they're going to be piloting crypto trading this year. So in terms of what happened last year in November, they already released a cryptocurrency custody platform, and the board member has actually said that they want to list a variety of cryptocurrencies and that the offering will be for customers who can invest without advice. And so it will be interesting to know all of the different cryptos that they currently have on their mind and on that list as well that they want to be putting out. It also says over here that the bank itself actually holds $627 billion in assets under management, and so it goes to show just the scale of it in terms of the finances and how big they are in general. And also this came out months after it announced that it would be using Metaco's technology solution to build these crypto related services. So we know over here that this is Ripple's partner, and that is how we have the connection between this bank and Ripple, because they're going to be using Metaco's technology. In addition to that, we also have from Edo in relation to Germany themselves, I mean Deutsche Bank, we have over here a paper which is titled Digital Money Options for the Financial Industry Contemplating CBDCs, and it praises Ripple's DLT solution with XRP as a settlement token, and it mentions new forms of money and the advantages of DLT networks. So not only are we seeing CBDCs in other countries, and especially within the Asian region, but we're also seeing it in the European region as well. And of course, they seem to be more welcoming with the CBDCs compared to the USA. So in this paper, we can see over here, the CBDCs, tokenized deposits, and stable coins are being considered as the primary option when it comes to the financial market. And this is how it will all be changing when we get these CBDCs. Each country will be having their very own. And of course, Ripple XRP can be used as that bridge asset for it. I mean, XRP coin is still not a stable coin. However, we could potentially see XRP being a stable coin in the future, of course, if we have that legislation being passed. And also with Ripple planning for XRP to be the stable coin. And we have over here that transactions in the Ripple network can also be processed using the network internal Ripple crypto token XRP. So they've already highlighted it as an example in their report, and this came back in July 2023. And I'm sure you have already heard of Deutsche Bank, so it is a pretty big deal that this paper has come out and Ripple is on it. An announcement from Ripple, this is coming from the head of product marketing, and you'll see over here that he has said that 90% of their business is outside of the US, as we currently know. And after being relatively quiet for the past 3 years in the US for Ripple payments, they are geared up to announce new product updates powered by our money transmitter licenses that cover the majority of US states. And to get the ball rolling, they are hosting a meetup for folks in fintech at their new SFHQ, and it's going to be the Ripple's blockchain and payments outlook for 2024. And this is going to be happening on Wednesday, the 7th of February as well. And the thing is, with Ripple having the majority of their business outside of the US, it only goes to show how the adoption is increasing. I mean, Ripple has actually been granted those VASP or VASP licenses from countries like Ireland, Dubai, and Singapore as well. In addition to that, Ripple have been in talks with many governments globally and outside of the US as well when it comes to that issuing of the CBDCs and the pilot programs. So just remember that Ripple's business is basically not tied down to the US as people may think. A lot of their business is outside of the US, and that does give them that advantage when it comes to all of these other regions actually taking on crypto at the forefront, and with the US unfortunately being behind on that regulation. We have from 707 Crypto, whether it's a CBDC, stablecoin, or any other centralized system of value, the key concern is privacy. And banning strictly a CBDC is only political propaganda when the government will gather data directly or indirectly regardless of a CBDC.
The benchmark thus far is China's digital yuan, which is designed for full surveillance of the population. And if that model were to be the basis for a digital currency here in the United States, it would be a disaster. It would violate the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, amongst other things, but it would be a disaster. But let's put that in context for a second. So can a stable coin. Okay, so can any type of centralized system of value is going to be a honeypot for a massive amount of data. So whether the government does it directly with a digital currency or does it indirectly by pressuring stablecoin operators to suck out all the data and hand it over to the government, as they've done with social media platforms.
Right.
The concern about privacy is the key concern. That's why we formed the Digital Dollar Project, to really encourage the United States to lead with its values. The United States doesn't need to focus on whether or not to deploy a digital dollar right now, but it must take a leadership seat at the table that is today deciding what these digital networks of value, both sovereign and non-sovereign, are going to look like, because our economic competitors like Europe and our economic adversaries like China are at the table right now. And in China's case, they want to ensure a digital future of money that is safe for surveillance and safe for censorship. We need to assure a digital future that's safe for democracy.
Right.
I mean, we know that a few people have expressed the fact that they are against CBDCs. And when it comes to the US elections, Donald Trump has actually said that he will not be allowing for a CBDC in the US. So when it comes to the CBDs, it is important to note that we have the wholesale CBDC, and then we will be having the retail CBDC. So the retail CBDC is the CBDC that is going to be affecting the majority of people. And he talked about in here about the privacy of that, because we may have, for example, criminals being able to access that information when it comes to that CBDC data. And of course, it could potentially affect those people with the digital assets. And so other people may just not want a CBDC in general, and being able to pay in cash allows that freedom. So there is a bit of controversy when it does come with that. From Cyprus over here, we have the potential of digital assets like digital currencies and tokenized assets to alter the global financial and cross-border payments landscape is immense. And this is coming from the Faster Payments Council, January 2024. And you'll see over here in the leadership bit, we have the vice chair of MasterCard International, and we also have the vice chair of Ripple Labs. And so it goes to show that the connections between them, I mean, we already know that MasterCard and Ripple have a partnership together. And so imagine the amount of utility and adoption that will happen when XRP is used like this when it comes to tokenization. Before we have a look at the price action for today, I just want to show you this that we have from High Vibe. Now it says over here 30 to 50 trillion on the XRPL by 2025. Now this is a very bullish prediction. It may not actually happen. I believe that we'll only get a small piece of the pie, and it is quite a large number. But let's take a look at this.
No, well, I'm probably a bit more bullish, but I have been for 6 years and slightly behind my original projections. But the total market is 1.4 quadrillion, everything that's ever out there. And if you start looking across any of those asset classes, they're all starting to move on chain already. And the ease with which we've seen people interested in money market funds, tokenized treasuries, and those types of instruments, the support for stable coins, when you're talking about replacing cash, when I see DTCC, Euroclear, Clearstream, it only takes one of them to flip onto natively digital, and that's trillions of assets on its own that move. So, tens of trillions, I think we could see. And bearing in mind it's 1.4 quadrillion, this is still a tiny slice of a huge market. 30 to 50 trillion, all on XRP, all trading on RTX.
Here we go, $50 trillion. 2 years from now, Ripple, Twitter will replay the session.
I mean, it may sound pretty far-fetched, and he has said that some of his projections have been behind, but we do know that when it comes to these money market funds, they are obviously very large, because it is in terms of the values when we're talking about millions that are essentially within them. So I understand where he's getting his prediction from, and so still it does sound quite a lot to actually base them on the XRPL ledger when we are currently nowhere near that, but still that is just his prediction that I thought I'd share with you. So the price action of XRP coin, we are currently trading at 0.4999. We are up by 0.89% on the 1 day chart. For the 24-hour volume, we are down by 34.61%, and we are trading at $852 million. So in the earlier hours of the morning, we were trading at 0.5044. On the 7-day chart, we are down by 3.59%. Now, if you remember yesterday, we did take that dip below 50 cents. We actually hit a low all the way to 0.04922, and we did go to 51 cents. Now we have just hit 50 cents. On the 1 month chart, we are still down by a lot. We're nearly down by 21%. But on the 27th, all of the way to the 30th of January, we were doing pretty well within that 53 cent range. That is where I want XRP coin to get back up to. Let's see if we can get to 53 cents. It is only a 3 cent move up from here. I mean, it has been pretty slow with the price action, but what I don't want to see XRP coin do is go lower and to 47 cents, because if that happens, then we could potentially retrace back to 45 cents, and that will be a massive low for XRP because we haven't been to that price for quite some time. Guys, if you want daily Ripple XRP coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.